I was depressed, I was suicidal. I'm like, since God doesn't want to heal me, can you just, take me, because I can't do this anymore. I was ashamed of myself. My self-esteem was honestly non-existent. The ulcers I had, that's the injuries I had, they were big in size. They used to smell. Sometimes I'll be bedridden for months. I won't be able to walk. I'll crawl, I'll hop. I have a wheelchair right there, that I used to use. And it was just a lot.
Ibukunoluwa is a writer, model, content creator, and a motivational speaker. She was born with sickle cell anemia, and as with every person in that situation, it was not a jolly ride. Missing classes, exams, the hospital visits, and surgeries. Let's get to meet her and hear her inspiring story.
Hey warrior, I know that this is all the world sees when they look at us. The pain, the struggle, the strife, the plasters, the hospital admissions, the cannulas, the yellow eyes, the medications. All of this are brushstrokes on a canvas that make us who we really are. And who are we? We are warriors.
Hi, my name is Ibukunoluwa, Imabong-Abasi, Ajayi. I'm a graduate of University of Lagos. I studied business administration. I'm laughing because I'm actually a content creator now and an influencer, so it's like opposite worlds. I also have an MBA. I just graduated from NO.1 University with a master's in business administration again. So basically, I work, like I said, as a content creator, as an influencer. I also write and I do motivational speaking as well. So growing up for me, I don't think there was a particular time that I was told you're a warrior or you have sickle cell. I just grew up always, being in and out of the hospital, always falling sick, looking a lot different than my mates, smaller in size. I'm tall now, I'm like 5'11", but then I was very short. I don't know what happened. I just grew like a mango tree. But I used to be very small in size. I used to have yellow eyes and all of that. Most of the points or signals to someone having sickle cell, I had them, but there was never a time that I was sat down and said, you have sickle cell. So I think I just, kind of found out along the line when I was always falling sick and I was always in and out of the hospitals. It was just mentioned at some point that, okay, you have sickle cell, and because of that, you'd be, falling sick regularly. You might not have a normal life like the rest of your mates, and there are things that you're going to have to be more careful on. There are drugs you're going to have to take and all of that stuff. So it was something I grew up with. There was never a time, because I think I was diagnosed, I'm not too sure, so it was either 3 months or 6 months I was diagnosed. So it was a very tender age and I grew into it basically. And growing up as a warrior, it was not fun because having to sit out when your mates are playing around, walking up and down in the rain, doing like rigorous activities, jumping up and down a chair if they catch you. I remember one time I was jumping up and down here in my house and I hit my teeth on the wall and I started bleeding. My mom was so scared, like, oh my god, are you going to have a crisis? It was a whole big deal, honestly. So I was always having to be very careful. And then when it came to size, because I have a younger sister, she's like ×3 my size. She's very curvaceous, mega the stallion kind of person, very sexy. And she started developing very early. But for me, they used to call me number 11 in school then, because I was very small in size, and I always had yellow eyes and everything. So I had to become bold. I had to start learning how to speak up for myself, and kind of antagonistic, but it was like a self-defense mechanism. Growing up for me wasn't really fun. I wouldn't say it was, but after a while I didn't like it, especially because we were termed sicklers, and I hated the word from the get-go. even though I didn't really understand the whole stigmatization aspect of it at the time. I just hated it. I just felt like, why would somebody refer to me with a term that has sickness in it? Like, I get that it was supposed to be a descriptive term, like, okay, people that have sickle cell, but it now became a stigma. Everywhere you go, they call you a sickler. It's like you've lost your identity. It's like you've lost your who you are, and you have become totally something else. So it wasn't something that I really enjoyed, when I really understood what it meant to be a warrior. I won't say that I was ever bullied per se, but people just make snide comments. So I'll just refer to it as stigmatization. So people just make silly comments, just say silly things, and they expect you to just laugh about it, but it's not funny. You can't just say things like, no, follow this one, Drago. If you touch an eye, you'll just faint. Like, honestly, just silly things that they say. They don't just regard you as a whole human being. So you're seeing as your disease is who you are, that kind of thing. And it wasn't fun, having to live with that. And it took me a while to be able to stand up for myself and say, oh, I don't like that. I don't like being called a sickler. I don't like being referred to by my features. I don't like when you say things like, oh, if you touch me, I go faint. If you know the kind of things I've been through, you won't say that. If you know the kind of struggles I've overcome. So in terms of crisis, I have had a lot of crises. I can't even remember. Okay, my last crisis episode, I think that's the one I remember correctly, was in 2020 in March, prior to the lockdown. Thank God. So I fell ill, and honestly, we didn't even know what was going on. We got to the hospital, and they were running all kinds of tests. I was running temperature, I was in pain, I couldn't breathe properly, and when the results came back, they said I had some kind of viral infection, but they didn't know what it was. Come to think of it, might have been COVID. I don't know. Because they just said they didn't know what it was. They couldn't identify it, but that it had to run its course. So all they did was give me antibiotics, which is what they do for people, basically for people that have COVID anyway. Give me antibiotics, pump me with a lot of vitamin C and all of that. And I was taking injections because I was always in pain. I was always running temperature. So every night they would come and give me like injections that will help me sleep, because I couldn't sleep and I was in pain. And this went on for like about, I think, a week or two. As usual, my family had to be on ground, so my mom would come from work every day. Sometimes she'll spend the night, sometimes I'll chase her home because I know she has to go to work the following day. And my mom she's a queen. Because all of the times I have my episodes, she will have to sleep on the floor, or if we're able to get a private room, then maybe she'll ask for another mattress or a bed. But most times she stays on the floor, or she'll just sit on a chair and sleep off. And she's always there. My sister, my immediate family, they're always supporting me. My dad. So it's not an easy thing, having all of those procedures. Okay, so for example, I've also had 3 surgeries for the leg ulcer I mentioned earlier, and I had the first one in Nigeria, the second one in the US, and the last one in Nigeria. And all 3 procedures were different. The same procedure, but just totally different, because the first one, a wrong surgeon performed the surgery. I won't even go into that. And it was just a whole mess. I was in the hospital for 3 months and the surgery failed, basically. The second one, I had it done in the US. It was actually very good. As at the time I came back to Nigeria, I was 80% healed. But because I was in my final year in school, I had to come back and, round up my school stuff and everything so I could graduate. And we know lecturers in Nigeria can be very funny. They insisted that everyone comes to school to submit some assignments that was at the end of the day cancelled. And I had to trek all the way because it was graduation period. So I had to walk from my school gates to where I was going to submit the assignments. And because cabs were not running at the time in school, during graduation, cabs don't run. By the time I got home, the thing had opened up again, so it was a crazy experience. And then the last one, I had it, much recently. And let me say that one, it was also another, like a script from Super Story, to be honest. Very crazy doctors, crazy nurses. Nigerian medical system is something that we really need to address, which is why I'm not surprised that a lot of people run out of the country to have medical procedures, but we thank God, so far so good. It's been all right, and I pray not to have any other major procedures again, ever. While I was going through the struggle with the leg ulcers, the numerous surgeries and different kinds of treatments, because people just think it's surgeries, but I can say that I have tried different kinds of treatments, including herbal, including Chinese. There's nothing I didn't try at that point, And when nothing was working, I became very depressed. I remember very well my godmom, she's late now, and I used to tell her, my mom then, that they should just pray for me to die, because it was just a lot to take in at that age. Sorry. I promised myself that I would never cry during things like this, and I always end up crying again. But just thinking back is crazy. I was depressed, I was suicidal. I'm like, since God doesn't want to heal me, can you just, take me, because I can't do this anymore. I was ashamed of myself. My self-esteem was honestly non-existent, because the ulcers I had, like the injuries I had, they were big in size. They used to smell. Sometimes I'll be bedridden for months. I won't be able to walk. I'll crawl, I'll hop. I have a wheelchair right there, that I used to use, and it was just a lot, but my mom, my family basically have always been my rock, always supporting me, always praying for me, always just basically being there. My friends at the time also, they were always, like messaging me, even though I didn't used to listen to anything, which is why I say, people that are going through stuff, it may sound like they're not listening to you. They may sound like they don't want to hear those things, but keep encouraging them, because it sticks. When you're not there, those are the words that come back in their minds and all of that. And I just think that I've been through so much. If I end up, if I give up now, wouldn't it all have been for nothing? All have been the point. I always used to say that to myself, and my mom always used to say something. She's always like, God forbid you give up now and you get to heaven, and God shows you like a clip of how your life would have been if you had just held on for the next 1 hour, the next 1 day, the next 1 week, the next 1 month. Wouldn't it be better to hold on than to live a life of regrets? So those words always just kept ringing in my head, and I just say to myself that I can't suffer all of this for nothing. There has to be an end to this thing. There has to be a silver lining, So those are the things that honestly just kept me going and pushing. And even the days where I can't do it anymore, I'll just exist. So at some point in my life, I was just existing. I wouldn't say I was living, because you can't say somebody's living when they are basically taking their urine and taking their, whatever for them. They can't get up from the bed. If I have to get up, I usually crawl around the house or hop on one leg, or just, it was a horrible moment for me, but I just held on to those words that my friends and family used to say, and to just the fact that I can't suffer all of this and just go like that, like just give up. It's just all be for nothing. And I'm not one to live a life that doesn't make sense. You understand? And I used to also say to myself, I've seen, prior to all of this happening, I've had crises back to back to back.
So I've finally been discharged after 7 days of drama. I swear, honestly, it's been crazy. No more lines. I get to go home and just live. So thanks everyone that has prayed for me, reached out to me. I really appreciate it.
I didn't die then. There must be a reason why I'm still here. There must be something I'm supposed to do. I'm yet to do. So it just has to happen. And I just have to get my, healing, and I just have to, what's the word now? Just hold on, basically. And then I said, okay, instead of just hiding and just, why not talk about it? There's so many other people out there struggling just like you. They are probably hoping that somebody will say something, that would resonate with them. So it wasn't like I started out encouraging people immediately. No, it was just me talking about all of the struggles I was going through, and then by the time other people started, joining in and all of that, it just became a thing, and then it went from just talking about our struggles to also trying to encourage other people, and then using my stories and all of the surgeries I've had, and when things started getting better, I just started, just putting them out there to help other people. And and it's just now, I was saying to someone in the cab yesterday, I was going to buy something for my leg, and I was just like, I was talking to the Uber driver, and I'm like, if anyone had told me then that I've been in a place to encourage other people today, that I won't believe it, because my life as a kid was on a very fast track. Take away leg ulcers, just ordinary crisis. Then I was a very smart kid. I finished from primary school. I didn't do primary 6. I had the second highest score in my primary school. So they just moved me to secondary school, and I was very fast. I was supposed to start modeling almost immediately out of secondary school and all of that. And I just kept thinking to myself that who knows, if I'd continued on that fast track, I may have ended up in a different life that I wouldn't have liked. So it was probably God's way of slowing me down so that I don't miss out on my assignments. So I just all of those things are just coming to me now. They're just making sense to me now, and it really helps and encourages me that everything I went through was not for nothing. Last year for my birthday, I did I'll call it a risky photo shoot, and I showed off my scars. These are the scars that I've gotten from all 3 surgeries that I had, and I call it risky because I didn't know what to expect from like people's reactions. Social media can be very brutal. You expect that people would, like understand and get where you're coming from, and then you see so many different things. But I still went ahead and did it. Thanks so much to Praise That Photographer and Lami Essence that really worked on it with me, and the photos came out. I posted them on my birthday and I was shocked. A lot of people really resonated with it, and it was just my way of saying, we have these scars, we have them emotionally, we have them mentally, we have them physically, but the scars don't define us. Basically, they're not they're only a sign that you went through something, and this is like basically the evidence that you overcame the thing. I was just saying to myself yesterday that I can't even remember, like I can remember everything that happened, all the procedures, but I can't remember the pain. I can't remember when I say I can't remember the pain, I mean I can't remember it physically, like how it felt in that moment. It feels like a dream that I have actually gone through 3 procedures. But when I look at those scars, they're a reminder that, babe, you have conquered a lot of things. You have seen, the other side of life and come back, basically. So I was just trying to encourage people that you may have scars on you, you may have them emotionally and physically, but scars are a sign that something that was once broken is now healed. So it means that you overcame and you've won. So don't be ashamed of your scars, don't be ashamed of your blemishes, don't be ashamed of the things that you've gone through. Nobody was there with you when you were suffering all those things, and now that you've overcome, this is something of pride. You should be proud of showing them off, like, these are evidence that I have been through heaven and hell, and I'm back, and I can achieve anything I want to. So that was the message I was trying to pass across, and I'm glad people got the message. The pictures ended up on Instablog. Some people still said rubbish because that's Nigeria for you and people are stupid, but the message was passed across and I was happy. And around the same time, in fact, I think it was the same day, Selena Gomez also posted a picture of her scar from the surgery that she had. I think it was the kidney surgery that she had, and people were just tagging me on the picture and saying, did you guys plan it? And I'm like, the spirit is one. God ministers these things to different people. It was just time for people to know that don't be ashamed of your scars, and God used me and a lot of other people to pass the message across. So yeah, I have scars, but I'm proud of them, basically, and you should be proud of yours too. Hi guys, so today I came to see Lola. You guys remember earlier in the year we raised funds for her to have hip replacement surgery. So she came to Igobi for her checkup. She's had the surgery. When was it? On the 8th, October 8th. So
even in the midst of this madness and NSAS and crisis, she has been having her own trouble. So when I told you that you were warriors, you forget. We fight past. Look, this is our government.
I was discharged. I spent 6 hours in traffic.
Can you imagine?
Like 3:30, we got home 11:30, and the leg was just like
painful and everything.
His leg removes today.
Can you imagine? So
I'm in trouble.
Anyway, she's doing well. I just thought to show you guys, and I'll keep following up with her treatment and everything. So thank you guys very much for making this possible for her to have her surgery.
Thank you.
We really appreciate it.
What I do for Warriors, basically, since I became an advocate in 2017, I don't know, it wasn't planned, it just happened. I've tried to work with foundations like COG Initiative, that's in Abuja. I've worked with Ajayi Sickle Cell Foundation in Warri. I've worked with some others as well. I do a lot of WhatsApp groups, because most of these foundations, they have WhatsApp groups, and I go on there, share my story, encourage other warriors. I do Instagram Live. I had one recently with NO.1 Online, and we just talked about life as a warrior, and encourage other warriors, and just giving tips to families and friends of warriors, to help them in this journey, because it's not easy, and we need every single family and friend on our side supporting us and being there for us. My birthday also last year, I launched a t-shirt for warriors. It says, "I'm a warrior, what's your superpower?" I've actually worn it for this interview. It escaped my mind, but and it was just something to kind of empower warriors, because we have that title now. We've decided that we want to be warriors, we don't want to be sicklers. So why not proudly wear it on a t-shirt and tell the world that that's my superpower, what's yours? So I have that as well. And I'm hoping to honestly do more. 2020 I did a lot of fundraising, because during the lockdown, so many warriors needed drugs, they needed money for food and all of that. So I was able to just raise funds. So people had surgery during that period, and I just helped out to raise funds, working with other NGOs as well, and even till now we still do like drug drives, blood drives, because one important thing to warriors is blood transfusions. A lot of warriors have them a lot, and Nigeria, we don't have the culture of giving and donating blood. So blood drives are very important. Whenever you see one, please join in, donate blood, because it's very important to someone like me and so many people like me out there, and we also give out drugs from time to time for free. We give out consultations, like just general consultations and things like that. So yeah, I'm hoping to just do more to create more awareness. For me, it's about creating awareness, letting people know that you have to check your genotype is important, letting people know what we warriors need, how friends and family can help out, and just honestly just advocating as much as I can. What makes me happy? If you ask my family members, they'll say suya. I eat suya a lot, but yeah, it's one of those things that when I'm down, like yesterday, my mom bought me suya because she knows that that's my happy place. But when it comes to other things, I also love movies. I watch movies a lot. Growing up, having to always be in the hospital, sometimes you don't always have family with you, and then sometimes even when you have family with you, you still feel alone because you're the only one going through that. Like, they are there, but they don't really understand, they don't feel the pain with you, so sometimes I just lock off and just watch movies. And especially when I was home bedridden back then, I used to watch a lot of movies to keep me going. Another thing I enjoy doing is creating content. I'm a content creator. I know a lot of people will say, it's stressful and all of that. It is, honestly, but I enjoy it. When I shoot my videos and everything comes out, and I work for a brand and they love it, or I put out like any kind of content and, my audience responds very well to it. It makes me so happy. Like, I'm just so excited and happy, and, so those are the things that really make me happy. And spending time with my family as well and friends, they make me really happy, because life is short. Just remember that life is short, and there's no point keeping till tomorrow what you can do today. There's no point holding grudges. There's no point. I see life very differently because of all the things I've been through. So I'm swift to forgive, swift to just let things go. Not like you're going to take me for granted, but I'm not going to allow you to live rent free in my head and I'll be getting upset. No, I move on very quickly, because I know how precious every second of every hour of every day is, and I know how fast it can be taken away from you. So yeah, those are the things I do to just make myself happy. ask this question a lot. I'm very much single. And thanks to sickle cell, it's not been easy, because you can't date anyone that's not AA, and the AA pool is not a lot. And we still have people AS getting married, and people with sickle cell traits getting married still. So they're not helping us to create more AA people. They're not. So it's hard out there. And apart from genotypes matching, there's also always the concern of falling sick all the time. Their family is always worried. Can she bear children? Can she take care of the home? I don't blame them for worrying about all of those things, honestly, which is why I keep praying to God to send me an Otedola, so that he hire a chef, hire a cook, hire a cleaner, hire a housekeeper, and I'll just be lounging. Honestly, I'm so fun. I need to enjoy. I need to relax and be taken care of.
One of you will betray me tonight. Is it me, Jesus? No. Is it me, Jesus? It's not you either. Is it me, Jesus? Is it me, Jesus?
One thing I would say to warriors is, this goes out to the warriors first, is that, you're not a mistake. Spread love, spread kindness, don't stigmatize, because I have experienced it in the workplace. I have experienced it, as a content creator, as an influencer. I've experienced it just in my everyday life. People just stigmatizing you because of no reason. I don't want my son to marry somebody that has sickle cell. It's not communicable. You can't catch it now. It's not COVID now. We live long lives, we have children. Just be kind. Just think to yourself that this person you're about to say something unnice to or unkind to, somebody's sister, somebody's daughter, it's probably somebody's mom, somebody's wife, somebody's friend. And if you don't want your own person to be treated that way, then don't treat somebody else like that. So just be kind and allow us space to show that we can do things. Give us space in the workplace. Give us space, in the media. Just give us space to show that, to prove to you that we are more than what people see. We are warriors, and that's our superpower. It may look like a flaw to you, but it's a superpower to us.